Shining hot, a high near 93. Hot and stormy Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 95. That's weather on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently 78 degrees.
The next KCJJ radio auction happens this Friday morning beginning at 6. For a list of items, see our website at 1630kcjj.com.
And it is Wednesday. It's the noon hour. Time for Senior Talk, brought to you by the Solon American Legion. I've been told by Jim Hunter we will have the Solon American Legion on Friday morning's auction starting at 6. So if you want to save, be listening. And again, as you just heard there, go to 1630kcjj.com or the KCJJ app and click on auction. So thanks to the Solon American Legion. Now, here is your host for Senior Talk, Rex Brandstatter.
Good afternoon, Tommy. Thank you, everybody. Hello there. It's June, and it's time for Senior Talk. What a wonderful weather we've got going. That lady in the news could have poured water over our heads any time. For the last couple of days, it was so hot, I wouldn't have really cared. Oh, wow. My friends at the Solon American Legion, hello there, guys and women up there, and thank you for your service to the country. You do a great job for your community, I'll tell you that for sure. The Iowa City American Legion, the Solon American Legion, the Coralville American Legion, Oxford American Legion, North Liberty, Lone Tree, West Branch, all you men and women that are associated with those programs or riders or Sons of the American Legion, thank you for your service, and for those serving, for sure. What a great country we have. Well, listen, it is time for Senior Talk, the weekly radio program where we try to identify and examine and share important and timely information for we and you fellow seniors. And as always, thank you for tuning in and spending a few moments out of your busy day to see if we can't cook something up that could be important to you or your family or members of your family. Your friends down at the coffee shop or your acquaintances in some group or organization you're in. It just takes one little tip here maybe to help you in a lot of things. As I look on the news lately, all these big fires, pretty darn scary for number one, loss of life, number two, loss of property. That's number two, not number one. Number one's life, and number three would be the loss of things that you could have maybe taken some steps to save, and that would be getting yourself a fireproof safe. And remember, they're not 100% guaranteed, but they go a long, long ways to saving your important papers if you just take some time to spend a little bit of money, under $1,000, maybe under 500. 500 to 1,000 would probably be my range of expertise on that. And you could load that thing up with anything you want to keep, and it might just be there after a big fire or a tornado. I totally recommend that you do that. And you can go to Shields, you can go to Fin and Feather, you can go to, I don't know who else has them here in town. I got to think about go online. I'd rather you buy it locally. Maybe the hardware store up at Trump's up in Solon has them. I don't know. That's where you should go and get one of these things, and you will sleep easier. I have one, and I do. Not that they can't burn down, but they're fire rated, and away you go. So why don't you take the time to do that? Well, I'll do my best to bring up a lot of senior info to you and some fun recollections of past people, places, things, and events for sure. So grab yourself a sandwich and a nice cold root beer, and let's see what we can do. My name is Rex Brandstatter. I am 74 years old, and I think that we seniors have a lot on our minds. So we're going to talk about it. I have been a licensed Iowa real estate broker since 1974, helping lots and lots of people sell and buy homes, commercial properties, investment properties, leases for businesses, and things like that. And I also help seniors the best I can. I work almost exclusively with seniors. That's my preference, and I work with a lot of estates. I work with a lot of administrators and executors of estates. I work with the trust departments of banks call me, attorneys call me, and we solve those problems for seniors. I work with the seniors and your families for sure. We sit down lots and lots of times and discuss maybe your future and where you're living now, or where you're living now and maybe where you might want to go, based maybe some health issues, some challenges. That's what we do. And I have a senior line at 319-330-5534, 330-5534. Well, my calendar at my office says tomorrow is the longest day of the year, which means it is our goal in the middle of winter, starting in December, when the sun turns around and heads away. It heads this way for 6 months. Then the sun has the audacity to turn around and go south. We don't like this end of it. We love what's going on, and we know it's going to be nice here through October, maybe November. You never know, but the days are going to start getting shorter here in a couple of days. That's the bad news. The good news is let's enjoy these longer days and sunshine and plenty of it to go around as long as we can, because the dumb old sun is heading south in a couple of days. Rats! I don't like the sounds of that. So it's Iowa, and we know what comes after fall. We don't like that, but the old sun will be back. But let's enjoy him while he's here. I want to talk a little bit about some things in which affect me, because I grew up a kid in Coralville, and Coralville wasn't what it was like 1,200 when I was a kid. It's now 22,000. So at one point as a kid, we decided our sport was baseball, and that included sandlot baseball. That included they hadn't even thunk up wiffle ball, as they would say, yet. So it was sandlot baseball. If you rode your bike around Coralville or walk with your ball glove, you didn't have to go more than a couple blocks to find a game most any day in the summer. So then it morphed into a minor league for us, and they started organized Little League baseball and Babe Ruth baseball. That was our sport of choice. And along the way, we became fans of our favorite teams in the major leagues and our favorite players, and all young boys back then had that. Well, I'm here to tell you that the baseball, meaning the organization, the game, the entire thing lost who I think was the greatest of all time, Willie Mays. I think that Willie Mays, while he didn't play for my favorite team at all, I don't care about that, I think Willie Mays was the greatest player of all time. He passed away yesterday. Not just the one catch that he pulled off in the 1954 World Series against the Indians, when Vic Wirtz hits that fly ball to center field in the Polo Grounds, when he was running, Willie Mays is running away from home plate, running the other direction, deep part of center field, and hauled it in over his head, and then threw it back in. It's just called the catch. You don't have to say Willie Mays' famous catch, just called the catch, and that's what will pop up. Well, Willie Mays passed away at the age of 93, so my salute, my heartfelt condolences to anybody who was associated with the Giants organization, and of course the Willie Mays family, and the legacy, and he started with nothing down in Alabama or somewhere. Who knows his background? It didn't involve anything ritzy for sure. What a humble guy! What a great guy he was! What a fantastic! I saw him playing Wrigley Field once. What a wonderful star he was. These younger stars who think they're stars ought to watch and listen to the trials and tribulation of guys like Willie Mays and Hank Aaron and all those Warren Spahn and all those guys who came up in the old days in baseball, and you'll learn a lot. Yogi Berra and Babe Ruth, all those guys. So Willie Mays is gone, and my salute, tip of my hat, my Dodger hat. And Dodger fans, we don't like the Giants. I just go on record. We don't like the Giants at all. We don't like them, but we sure like Willie Mays. That's a fact. So there you go. Good luck to you, Willie. I know where you're going. All right. Well, summer plans include any outside work at your house, huh? You got plans up your sleeve to do a few things. Going to do this or do that. Maybe some painting or some siding. How about some shingles? Contractors are not easy to find, and the prices are not cheap. But I think if you look around, I will tell you this. If you look around, you will find someone who, you might not do it this week, but you can find yourself a contractor for different, maybe a plumber, maybe you need an electrician. They're here in town. Lots and lots of good ones. And I want you to pay attention to your house. Now's a good time. It's summertime out there. And I know you've walked around your house because the weather's nice. And as soon as the weather got nice, I asked you, implored that you walk around your house. And now's the time to call the guys to come over and fix those things. Your house is your number one investment. Most likely your house is your shelter between you and the outside world, whether it's 94 degrees like going to be here on Friday or Saturday, or 10 below zero like it was last winter. And say, speaking of that, isn't it more fun? In my opinion, it's more fun to be in 93-degree weather outside than 10 below zero. One, you can stand outside, at least stand in the shade, and the other one, you can't. So I'm all for hot weather. I'll take the hot weather. So be careful, and I want you to be very, very on top of things on your house, for sure. All right? And remember now that you start with the top down. You start. Well, how about your shingles? How about your gutters? How about your downspouts? How about your siding? Those are the things that keep the house, keep all those elements away from you. So make a good investigation on your house. Well, I was at a group outing last Friday night, Friday or Saturday night, maybe it's Saturday night maybe. And there were a group of us there, and there was a barbecue going on. We were laughing and joking out in the middle of the country. with this group of friends, and one of the guys all of a sudden didn't feel good, and he hadn't been in by being more than one or two beers, I don't suppose, whatever he's drinking, I don't even know. It wasn't that kind of a thing. We all had that at our, all took a cooler type of thing. But we all have to drive home, we're all adults. But all of a sudden he didn't feel all that well. He said he hadn't been feeling good for maybe a week. Well, when you're a senior, he's almost a senior. He's right there, almost 65. He's right. I think he's 64, I think. So that's not good. Well, he went to lay down somewhere, and he reported the next day that he had a doctor appointment on Monday anyhow to check out. Well, he's now reported that he reported to our groupie friends that he has Lyme disease. Lyme, Lyme disease. And if you're familiar with any kind of goofy things, you know that Lyme disease, for the most part, comes from a tick bite. A tick, those creepy little, crawly little, itchy little things that you get out in the woods for the most part. And he got bit by, somewhere along the line, he got bitten by maybe one or two, who knows how many, ticks. He doesn't ever remember seeing any, but that's what happened. And he doesn't know where he went. He's a professional. He has an office. He doesn't work out in the country, out in the woods, but he does. He said he mows grass a lot at his house, and he does have a woods behind his house, and he does wander back there once in a while just to see what's going on. So most likely that's where he got it up. Now, Lyme disease is a slow boat. It's a slow boat. It can debilitate you for your nervous system. It actually attacks your brain. It's got all kinds of bad things. There's not one good thing that I know of about Lyme disease. So I don't know what the treatment is. I have no idea on that. But he said they're now treating him for Lyme disease. My observation would be some sort of an inoculation or start taking some medical type of thing, I hope. But best of luck to him, our friend. And, I can tell you many times, many friends have gone there, and it's about the 38th different test for Lyme disease. And they found this out the first day. So a heads up on that. And at the top of the hour in the news, if you heard the news before the senior talk came on, in London, England, they've come up with some doctors' group or scientific papers. They now think that they can detect. Here I am to tell you what they're going to detect. Detect the disease 7 years before you get it. Wow! Isn't that something? That's the disease where your hands start shaking. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. That's the one they're working on, which is a bad deal if you get it, for sure. It's just not good. Now they're 7 year, maybe detected 7 years before you get it. That would be wonderful to know that. I guess it would be that far in advance. So all these things coming up every day, you kind of hear these things. So that's what we're doing. Well, listen, folks, a senior man tells me that we'll be talking soon about our house. Here's what he said. We have 2 houses, and we only need one. The family, and he says grandkids and kids, like the summer house, so we plan to sell the Iowa City house and move. Now, this senior met his wife at the University of Iowa. They all he grew up in Iowa City, and so does his family and siblings. And now they're selling and moving. It's kind of hard to do. He's a senior, well into his senior years, in 70. No more Iowa City, I said to him. No more base camp. They're leaving the home of Iowa City and to buy and live in the house that your kids and grandkids like. I guess I don't understand things like that. It's the power of the grandkids and the kids overcome what mom and dad are so comfortable with. That's their call, not mine. I'm the real estate guy. Maybe I'll be invited to help them sell the house. It'll be with what I do. I don't have any problem with that. It's just look behind the curtain here a little bit and say, wow. To me, that would be hard to leave your where he grew up. This man grew up, where his dad grew up, where his grandpa grew up, and move out of state. And so the kids and grandkids can come and enjoy your house. It's not south of Mason-Dixon line. It's well north of here. Excuse me. And I guarantee you they won't be up there in the winter, and you will. But that's your call. As you're free and 21, so do whatever you want. It's just different. I just thought it was different. Oh, well. A senior lady advises that her sister has passed away, and now she learns that her sister had no will. Uh-oh, not good. She owned a house, a car, bank accounts, retirement accounts. She had some money in the bank, all these kinds of things, and she lived out of state. So I know her, so she called and said, what do I do with all her stuff? The sister, the living sister, what do I do with all her stuff? How about her mail? How about her everything? So the sister who passed away took no opportunity to tell anybody that maybe they could be invited to be an executor of her will, whether she was feeling ill or not ill. Didn't make any difference. This is called pre-planning, ladies and gentlemen, pre-planning. So now this lady, who is now going to be the administrator, she won't be the executor because there's no will. So most likely, she said, I will be appointed the executor after I explain what has to happen. But remember now, the sister who passed away lives out of state. So now the sister who lives here in town has to get a hold of an attorney in that state. So you're probably in that town somewhere. There'll be an attorney and start all over with it. Long distance phone calls, probably a visit or two, and I have to go get someone on the other end to take care of the house. It is a big deal, ladies and gentlemen, a big, big deal. And if you don't take the proper pre-planning, you're kicking the can down the road. And really, really, would you wish that on your kids? Would you wish things like that on your family because you didn't take the opportunity to get a will? I say no. I say you're a bonehead. I'm stepping on toes. I understand. I say you're a real bonehead if you don't. I don't care if you're 32 years old or 42 or 82 listening today. You've got to get yourself what I call a legal profile. You've got to get a legal posture, and a will is one of them for sure. Lots and lots of things could have been helped had this lady taken care of those things for sure. Well, now it's going to be it's going to be like a treasure hunt, so to speak. There's going to be a big witch hunt on all these things at the other end of the deal. So not good, not good. Well, Rex, what about a house with a walk-out stairway to the outside from the basement? Well, so this guy is saying it's an old house. What do you think? Well, that's pretty normal for houses that were built back in the teens, in the 20s, and the 30s, and the 40s, and then not so much, but there were homes, but there are still a few built. From the basement, you can open a door and walk up a set of steps, and you emerge outside. There you go. It's an outside entrance, a stairway. Well, usually what happened to the older ones, at the bottom of the stairway, snow piled up, leaves pile up, water gets in there, and then they never, ever put a drain down there. They never thought about that for the most part. So now you got water down there that leaks in under the door. You got a wet basement. And so my opinion of those things is not the highest. If it's part of your design and you do it right, I've seen some covered ones, some sheltered ones, somewhere you go in the garage, and in the back part of the garage or the side of the garage, there's a step that goes down. It's what they call atypical, but they do happen, and they serve a purpose. Otherwise, if you have one in a basement, you have what's maybe a basement or a cellar instead of a nice one, which would be called a lower level, but a cellar, old-time house, or a basement, and you have a set of steps to go up. You need to make sure that door's in good shape. You need to make sure that maybe at the other end, the top of it, you can cover it in the spring and the summer, so the snow in the winter and the snow doesn't get on it and come down in there, and the rain, stuff like that. They just take a little attention. They really, truly do. They're no place to goof around with if they're not covered. Why they get slippery and icy in the winter. So just be on the lookout. I think they should be covered. So that was my discussion. The guy doesn't know what to do. I can tell you that from experience that I know people who decided to get rid of it. So they dug it up on the outside and got rid of the stairs on the outside, and they covered up the hole. And then down in the basement, they had a walk-in door for sure, or what's called a man door, walk-in door, and they replaced it with just a regular old door and a frame. And after many years, after they had filled the outside, well, that caved in. So don't do it. If you're going to do that, you have to treat it right. Give me a call. I'll give you some guys' names who do that type of thing. If you don't want it, it's a good time to get rid of it, and you have to do it right. You and your brother-in-law don't do it on the weekend. How's that sound? Well. Folks, I read this recent article, and I'm in favor of the outcome. Why does everybody, this cracks me up. Why does everybody, and I know I'm stepping on some toes. I know right up front we're stepping on toes at Senior Talk. Why does everybody walk around with about a 1 gallon water bottle all the time? All right? You just see everybody walking down the street. People get out of their car to go into the dentist, and they take in a bottle of water with them. I don't get it. None of my business, of course. That's part of the fun of seeing none of my business. But anyhow, do you do that? Well, why? I don't get it. I don't understand the reason. Well, one of the reasonings I think is because we're supposed to drink so much water every day. Well, I did a lot of checking on this and said, we're all told to keep hydrated. Magic words: keep hydrated, which means drink water, drink electrolyte, Gatorade type of thing. Sport drink. That's the deal. Keep hydrated. Well, that means drink water to make us healthy. But get this, folks. Not everybody needs 2-3 gallons of water a day. Not all bodies need that. When you need water, you're going to get thirsty. Drink the water. All right? People want to measure their intake of water as being healthy. I drank 4 liters of water today. All right. Well, good for you. Means you had to visit the bathroom a lot. I understand that. You can get water in tea or water in a melon, all kinds of food. So if you're thirsty, drink water of your choice. If you're not thirsty, do you really need to drag around a huge, huge cooler of water with you? And if you do, you do. That's your business. But start noticing everybody walking around with a big jug of water with them. I don't get it. But I'm old school, so I guess that's part of the deal. You were told to hydrate, and everybody then measures. You got to have 8 glasses of water a day or 2 quarts of water a day. So that's how you measure health, and that's more power to you, I guess. Well, I did spend a week fishing with a doctor. He's a DVM, and he can't treat humans, but he treats animals. All has been for 40 years. And so we went fishing up north, and we decided we were not going to eat in the cabin and fix our food and a big work. It's just 2 guys went this year at this one, so why do that? So he brought bananas. He was in charge of the food, which was a mistake on my part. He brought bananas, sport drink with electrolytes, yogurt, and apples. Now, I eat those same thing all the time, absolutely. And we went to several in the Northwoods roadhouses for supper. Now, if you've been up to northern Wisconsin, Minnesota, there's these bars and restaurants out in the middle of nowhere, and Bob and Mary's, Tall Pines Inn. They're just great places. So that's where we decided we would eat supper. And we did. So he ate those other things during the day, as did I, because that's what I eat normally during the day. But at night, his food orders, he'd order first were pizza, barbecue, fries, and fried chicken. I guess he was only a doctor or DVM during the day. And he was impressed that I ordered baked chicken one night while he ate fried chicken. I said, well, it's just me. So if you go with the health nut, go with a doctor somewhere. Be prepared to take yourself some real food. We had a good time. Caught a lot of fish. I want to pass this on to you. I had a senior friend of mine, and I questioned him after he got done. If you're really, really on top of things, and he said, Rex. He said, isn't there something that the seniors can do about the taxes in their home? And I said, yes, you can pay them. And he said, no, there's some kind of a new law. I said, well, what you're thinking about is the homestead. Well, yeah, that's it. No, that it? I said, yeah, that's it. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. So I looked it up, and I called him and told him what it was. He said, oh, I forgot. I said, so I don't know what you're doing. You're too busy to worry about your homestead exemption and the tax ramification on your house. So I tried to kick his fanny a little bit. Well, on May 4th of 2023, so over a year ago, Governor Reynolds and the Iowa legislature signed House File 718, establishing a homestead tax exemption for claimants 65 years age and older. That's us. That's a senior, 65 years and older. In addition to the Homestead Credit Act, eligible claimants who own the home they live in that are 65 years and older on or before January 1 of an assessment year are now eligible for a homestead tax exemption. Okay. For the assessment year beginning January 1, 2023, a year ago, the exemption was $3,250. For assessment years beginning on or after January 1, 2024, that's now, the exemption is $6,500 of taxable value. That means this: if your house is assessed at $200,000, if you go sign up for this at the Iowa City or Johnson County Assessor's Office, they'll knock $6,500 off your assessed value for free. If you're a veteran, they'll knock $1,850 off that. So now we're already getting a homestead tax exemption, the Iowa law. Then if you're a veteran, you get that. You can prove you're a veteran with your veteran card. You get the $1,850. And then if you're a senior, you get another $6,500. But you have to go sign up, and they're not going to call you. So I want you to go to the city or the Johnson County, the Iowa City Assessor or the Johnson County Assessor to apply for the new exemption. Applications are due July 1. Senior Talk is on time here. If the exemption is granted, which it will be, the exemption will be allowed for future years without future filing. If you've signed up, you don't have to do it again, is what that said. Wow. The form is available online on the Beacon site. It's called the Beacon site, and I think it's a Johnson-County-Assessor.gov. I think that's it. Johnson-County-Assessor.gov or Iowa-City-Assessor.gov, or get online, get on your Google and Johnson County Assessor and call them down at the administration building. And both offices, the Iowa City Assessor and the Johnson County Assessor, are both in the Johnson County Administration Building where you get your license plates. However, the Administration Building is under total redo, update. To total cabobulation from top to bottom, inside, and I don't know about out. So when you go down there to do that, you won't be able to park there. They're in the building to the north. Right across the street to the north is where they're at. You can go in there. And the door's on the north side of the building towards the west, and go in there, and I think you go to the second floor, take the elevator up, sign up for this, homestead exemption for homeowners 65 years and older. How about call it senior home exemption? That's what you need. Now, $6,500 off. That is not going to offset a whole truckload of taxes, but in the next 10 years it will. So would you rather have whatever money there is to be saved in your pocket or in the local government's pocket? You answer that right now. I know what you're thinking. You're looking at each other or yourself and go, I'd rather have that money myself. Well, if you do that, you're going to have it, all right? There is a form you can fill out. Go do that. Had you signed up a year ago right now, you'd save $3,250, and then they also entered you in the sweepstakes. There's no sweepstakes here for the $6,500. So it's $6,500 off your assessed value if you go down there and sign up. Now, if you go down to sign up and you have not ever signed up for homestead exemption, you just bought a house last year and you forgot, go sign up. This is your big warning here, but you better do it before July 1, or it'll take you another year and a half to see the savings. So beat it down there, folks, to the Johnson County Administration Building. Park in the building across the street to the north, on Benton Street, right across to the north. You've all seen that walkway that goes to the administration building, that walkway to the building to the north. Well, I want you to go to the building in the north, go on the north side of it, and walk in the door, go up to the second floor, and either see if you live in the city limits of Iowa City, go to the Iowa City Assessor. You live anywhere else in Johnson County, outside of Solon, you live in downtown Swisher, you live in Lone Tree, you live in Corville, you live down over by Oxford to Tiffin, anywhere. You go to the Johnson County Assessor. Tell them you want to sign up for old timers home exemption. They'll know what you mean for sure. Go do it. They want you to. One thing we should consider, and we get involved in this and we don't think about it. We think, well, we're not going to tell anybody what I'm going to tell you right now. Not telling a soul, which is wrong. Saving our passwords. So each and every time you log in, you have to save a password. If you bought the farm this afternoon, could anybody get into your computer? Could your wife? Could your son? Could your daughter? Trying to help you? No, because you're gone and you didn't. So get yourself a password. There's an app on your phone you can have to save passwords. I have a list. I have a tablet, and I have the tablet locked at home with passwords. And I save one, and I write it down, take it home, put it in there. That could be to bank accounts. That could be how to get into your computer. Let me ask you a question. Can you make a phone call on your husband's phone? Something happened to him, and his phone is there. Can you make a phone call? Well, no, because I don't know the code to get in or swipe this way or that way. Can you make one on your wife's phone? Why not? This is an emergency, folks. This is an emergency. Let's get with it, okay? And I came to a little issue last week. I'm sitting around telling people, at some little deal we were at about driver's licenses, and I secretly said to myself, you big dope, you haven't even checked your own. So I pulled mine out, and it expires in 30 days. I have a birthday coming up, and it's going to expire. So I took it upon myself on Monday. I went and got my driver's license renewed. Now, I don't really like going to the local driver's license place. I'd rather go to the Bronx Zoo. So I didn't. I drove to downtown Marengo. You can go to any Iowa driver's license place in the state of Iowa. I drove to downtown Marengo at the Iowa County Courthouse over there. There were actually two guys in line ahead of me, believe it or not. They were swamped. Took me 5 minutes to renew my driver's license, and they give you a paper one. I've got a paper one in my pocket with my one that's about to poop out, plus the paper one, and you get a new one in the mail in a couple weeks. And it doesn't come with a big envelope that says, look, is your new driver's license. It comes in sort of a junk mail looking envelope, so be careful. So, here's a little word for you. Why don't you go to your purse or go to your wallet and see when your driver's license. Remember now, I thought mine expired a year from now, so you could be wrong. It's hard for we seniors to be wrong. I know that, but it does happen. And so why don't you just go do that? We don't need anybody saying they can't do this or can't do that, so go do that. Well, a senior says, I bought a 2-year-old car last week, and the salesman was showing me everything, and in the trunk there was not a spare tire. And I said, well, there's no spare tire. What do I do? And he said, call a tow truck or use the tire repair kit. Tire repair kit? We did that with our bikes when we were kids when we had the tube tires. We'd take the stupid tire off there with the screwdriver and inch it around and pull the tube out, pull out the stem, and we bought a kit, honest to God, at Sears or at the bike shop down at Novotny's, and then Don's Bikes in Corvo. We bought a little kit, came in a can. The top of the can was all roughed up like a thing at your house, at your home when you shred cabbage. On top of that thing, you shredded that tube. Put this gooey Elmer's glue on it kind of thing, and then we put the patch on it, and we'd stand on it, put it back in, put the air in it, and away we go. Well, this guy told me I have to get the spare tire repair kit. That's what this guy said. So he says, guess what? I didn't buy the car. I'll find a car that's got a spare tire. Well, good luck with that. But if you buy an older car, you'll get a spare tire for sure. I want you to know out there, folks, that a lot of people will be retiring on June 30th, the last day of the fiscal year. Happens every year at this time. A lot of government employees, maybe university employees, municipal employees. The fiscal year is in June 30th. You think that's the great time to retire. More power to you. Been here 42 years. That's it. Congratulations, as a matter of fact. More power to you. Onward to whatever you're going to do. Maybe you're just going to be retired. We're going to talk about that. Hopefully you have met with the HR department at your company. What? I'm going to retire. Well, make sure this is the best day to retire and keep your medical coverage and your 401 tax plan vested, okay? They sometimes recommend even that you wait. A friend of mine said they want him to be under employment through July 5th. This coming July 5th, so he can stay on the coverage for another year, and he was going to throw in the towel on June 30th. So you might want to wait until August 19th or on the anniversary or the anniversary date of your starting here. That way we can keep you on our 401 plan longer. Blah blah blah. So you need to do a little homework, not just say the hell with this. I'm done. 46 years. I'm out of here. If you waited that long, do it right. Now, if you work for yourself, you got your own plan going, who knows. But if you work at a company or an institution or a government agency or anyone like that, whether it's the fiscal year or the end of the year or any day you're going to retire, I'm going to quit September 1st. Go meet with the HR department, pull it off. Now, I've received several phone calls about this, about people who have done this and not done this right. And that lady in the hills called me one time. She said, that's about the best advice I had on retirement lately. And she explained to me what had happened. She was going to retire in August. And they said, you need to wait till October. There was a date, October 13th, whatever, because that's the day you started. You can fill out a whole nother year, and that helps you in your retirement, even gives you more money in retirement. So she did. I've had people call and say, well, I went to HR, and they said, well, retire any day you want. All right. So it works both ways, but why take a chance after all those years? All right. And so many seniors who are no longer working and just want to retire. Well, Bob, what are you going to do when you retire? An answer a lot of people don't hear is, I'm going to go fish. Everybody says they're going to go travel and meet with family and think, more power to you. Nobody says, I'm going to go fishing. Nobody says, I'm going to go build a cabin. Everybody says, well, I don't know. I'll figure something out and then I'll find something to do. Well, retire to something, not from something. As soon as you retire, at least have a halfway plan, folks. Okay, it's going to be a long retirement, so why not have some plan? Well, 1924, 100 years ago, the Iowa alumni had two brothers. Give them a call, and they sat down. It was 100 years ago in 1924. Two brothers gave the University of Iowa 17 acres of land, and for what they called the campus golf course. Wow. Now, these were who? These were the Finkbein brothers. W-O-N-E-C Finkbein were the donors. And they gave the University of Iowa 17 acres for a campus golf course. My question to you, shall we pull a B serial old Western cowboy type thing? Shall we pull like a cliffhanger? I think so. Where was the Finkbein land that they gave for the University of Iowa campus golf course? Where was it? I know the answer. If you do, raise your hand. I can hear some of you older guys yelling. Some of you looking around and say, well, that's a big South Finkbein. Or is that the Finkbein down on the highway, on Highway 6, along the strip? Is that what you think? Well, next week I'm going to answer that. Next week you're going to find out what land that the Finkbein brothers gave to the University of Iowa for a golf course called a campus golf course. Wow. All right, folks. Longest day of the year is tomorrow. Let's get out there and enjoy it. It's going to be hot this weekend. I love it. Get out there and enjoy the heat, and just be careful of yourself. Maybe drink some water. Take a gallon of water with you. Let's have some fun. It's June. It's summer in Iowa. This is Rex Brandstatter from Senior Talk saying thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. So long.
Looking for a place